What is up, y'all? I have finally got some photos back. So, if you've been following along, about a month ago now, I went over to my mom's house and she gave me a few of my late father's cameras. It's a Pentax 645 and a Nikon FG. They're both film cameras. And I've been working on like reviving them and making them work and taking some pictures with them. And I took a few test rolls to make sure everything was cool and I sent them off. And yesterday, I got my email link to download the scans. So I would like to share some because I'm pretty excited about this. Let's see, I'm pretty much just going to get right to it. First off, I have one of the cameras that I haven't actually taken any real pictures with was a Fuji Discovery Zoom. Let me see, I believe, is it the Discovery Zoom or the... It's one of these two. So there were two point and shoot kind of cameras. This is the Discovery 1000 Zoom. And then this is the DL400. They're both Fujifilm point and shoot cameras. And one of them, I can't remember which, had some film in it. And I sent that roll too because, you know, like, why not? I'm guessing it was my grandmother's because it had a picture from her backyard of a cat. And then it had one that ended up being actually like one of my favorites of the kind of just an awesome like found film kind of thing. It is a picture of some flowers in her yard. My grandmother died in 2008, by the way. So these are absolutely ancient. I don't know when these are from because that camera resets its date to January 1st, 1994, whenever you put new batteries in it. Or I'm sure if you don't let the battery die, it'll keep the day, but whatever. It says January 8th, 1994. So I'm guessing it was about a week after she put new batteries in it. I don't know when it actually was. But like I said, she passed away in 2008. So before then, probably. But it is a picture of some flowers in her yard. And I'm guessing it's the last shot that was on the roll. Before it went and sat in my dad's closet for like 15 years. And then I came along and opened the back and realized it had film in it and then closed it back. So it's got like some light leak all over it. So this looks cool. I'll show you that. And then, so that's what was the, Pentax 645 had a roll of film on it, but they said it was blank. There was nothing on it. It hadn't been shot yet. So they did give me, I used Memphis Film Lab and they actually gave me a credit for that one, which I thought was cool of them because like, you know, it's not really their fault. Like I was perfectly willing to pay to see if there was anything on it, but since there wasn't, they gave me a credit, which is pretty cool. But, okay, moving on. I had some, Portra 400 that I put in the Pentax 645 the first time. And it's the one that I only got a few photos out of before the batteries on it died. And then the camera started acting really weird and it wouldn't take any, even after new batteries, it wouldn't take any pictures. I did a whole video of this. Like it's one of my most recent videos. I don't know what fixed it or why or what made it happy, but it started working again. But for a few days there, new batteries, clean contacts, like new backup battery, everything, nothing would make it work. And while I was in the process of doing that, in trying to troubleshoot it, needed to take the film back off. So I ended up just manually advancing the film all the way to the end of the roll. So I only got like 4 or 5 shots out of the initial roll of Portra 400 in the Pentax 645. But I got one of the lizard. That is pretty cool. I'll put that one up here. It's Sunny, our bearded dragon, who I like to call Glizzy the Lizzie. And then I got one of Ava, predictably doing something insane. It looks like she's eating the whole wrapper and all to some candy. There will be more crazy Ava pictures as we go, so like kind of get used to that. But yeah, so that one looks good. I love the colors on these, and I love like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but like the depth of like, there's some look to the medium format that is definitely different than anything else. And you can definitely see it. The others on that roll were a couple boring ones because they were basically just test shots, because at that point, this is literally the very first roll of film I put into that camera. I had no idea if it was going to work or not, you know. So, what else? Let's go to the Nikon FG. I got quite a few good pictures off of this roll. This was in, like I said, Nikon FG. This was a roll of Fuji 400 Superior, and I shot it, and I don't know why my child is eating her feet in some of these pictures, but she's looking at me as if I should know, or that I'm doing something wrong by looking at her, so whatever. And I think that was like the last shot on the roll, so it looks like there's some light leakage. Don't really know why, but whatever. It actually looks cool in this case, but not, only the last like 2 pictures on the roll have that. What else is good on here? Here's a picture of I think that is thyme that nope, that's rosemary that we're growing in the window. That looks pretty good. I've got some really good pictures of, we were in the kitchen, scrambling some eggs, and Ava came in and wanted to help. And I got a few, all of these look pretty good because the colors look awesome. She happens, like, totally by accident, she's wearing red bows in her hair and holding a red heat-proof spatula and sitting on a red stool, and all the colors just look really good. So that's probably my favorite picture from all of these. And then I got one of Daisy sitting at the bar eating. That looks good. And then I took one of my office in here at night because, like, I know basically how to shoot pictures in low light on a digital camera, but I don't really know how to on film, so I was kind of messing around with it, but that one ended up looking pretty cool. And then what else do I want to show? Got one of my record driver, Scott, that looks insane, so that's nice. So you always got to share the crazy ones. Let's see. I did take it to the cemetery where my dad is buried. I took a picture of the sign there, so that's kind of cool. It ended up looking good. But yeah, overall, I was really happy with the Superior 400. To be honest, the only reason I bought that particular film was I didn't have any 35mm, and I didn't know if that Nikon worked. I didn't know if it was, you know, gonna have terrible light leaks. I didn't really know if it was gonna do anything. So I didn't want to buy super expensive film, and that Fuji 400 was pretty cheap on Amazon with next day delivery. So that's what I went with. And it actually looks really good. I mean, it's not super surprising. I do shoot Fuji digital cameras, and I do really like the colors from them, so it's not terribly surprising that Fuji film has good colors, but still, I was very, very pleased with it. And then the last roll that I sent in was kind of honestly the same thing. It was some Fomapan 200 Creative. This is 120 medium format in the Pentax 645. And again, the sole reason I bought that film rather was that Amazon was selling it for like $9.95 delivered one day. And this was after I had like basically wasted a whole roll of Portra 400, and then it started working, and then it stopped, and then I couldn't get it to work, and then it wouldn't do anything, and then it seemed completely haunted, and I tried all the things and tried contact cleaner and new batteries and new backup batteries and different kinds of batteries and lithium batteries and alkaline batteries and rechargeable batteries and all kinds of stuff. So when it did power on and look like everything was working, I still didn't really buy it, you know? I didn't want to put super expensive film in it, so I used this black and white Fomapan 200 that I bought on Amazon just to, like, I don't know, make sure it's actually going to work. And yes, a lot of these honestly came out really good too. There's one of Ava that looks like she should be in like an old horror movie because she's making an insane face, so I like that one. What else do we have? I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at these on OneDrive, and it's honestly not the best photo viewer app. But I don't want to put all of these like in my photos. I guess what I probably should have done if I was better at this was make a folder of just the ones that I'm going to post, like in order. That would probably make sense, because now I'm going to have to go back in Final Cut, watch this video, figure out which one I'm talking about, and put the correct photo up there. So that's pretty cool. I never said I was good at this. I know. I'm just going to keep doing it, whether anyone likes it or not, myself included. But so anyway, we got Ava making crazy faces. What else we got? We got some Ava outside. I did catch a really good one of her on the swing. This one looks really cool. Lots of good, like I like the grain in it. And again, there's something about that like medium format, like, I don't know, depth of field. It's something about like the feel or the atmosphere of it, which I know sounds insane, but I don't care. I still believe it. It still looks like that to me. So that one was cool. I took a couple of her. She had just gotten a new playhouse that we had built when I was doing this. So there's a couple of her like standing on the balcony of her like little playhouse. And that's cool. Took some of Daisy, took some flowers. So yeah, overall, pretty pleased. Honestly, I'm just pleased that more than anything, the cameras actually work. You know, like, it's nice to know that I'm not just like buying film and effectively throwing it away by running it through an old non-working camera that's full of light leaks and nothing to look at, and you know, whatever. So like, it's nice to know that they actually function. That's like the first and main thing. But like, it's also helpful to kind of get a feel for what I like in terms of film, because like, I definitely have some strong preferences for digital cameras. I have preferences for what focal lengths I like, which in all fairness, that obviously like carries over, you know. So like focal lengths are any different on film cameras. But I know what focal lengths I like, and I know like on my various cameras what ISO I can use before I think it starts to get too noisy. And I have different controls that I prefer, like a PASM dial kind of controls. That's why I sold my XT4 and bought an XS20, because I kind of like those controls more. So I'm kind of getting I'm kind of getting the feel for my preferences for film as well. I definitely think black and white in the medium format looks pretty cool, but overall, I think I prefer to shoot color mostly. And the last thing that I did, well, number one, I've bought more film cameras. I bought an Olympus OM2N, which is another 35 millimeter film camera of approximately the same vintage as the Nikon FG, but it's a little bit smaller, and the lenses for it are very good and very cheap, which I liked. So I picked up one of those, and I picked up a 51.4 for it. And I've shot a few rolls of film through it. I've shot some Cinestill 400, and I've shot some Portra 800, and I'm currently shooting a roll of Aurora 800. So like I said, I'm kind of still just getting a feel for things. What kind of film, what film speed do I want? What do I want, color or black and white? Which color? You know, there's a bunch of different options out there. So it's kind of cool to see these, and it helps me start to get a feel for what I like. As I mentioned, I have already sent off a couple of rolls of 35 millimeter from the Olympus. So hopefully, if their turnaround time is what it says it is, I will make another video like in the next week or so and show you some of the pictures from it. So yeah, but overall, very happy to have some pictures, because like, it's one of the weird things about film. Like, I'm recording this on May 12th. I got the cameras in like mid-April. I sent all this film off on April 26th, and then I still, up until yesterday, I'd shot like 5 or 6 rolls of film. Like, I sent 4 or 5 in with these. You know, one of them didn't have anything on it, and one of them was messed up, and then the 3 rolls that I've just showed you stuff off of. And then I've shot like 2 more rolls of 35 millimeter that I've already sent off. And then I've got a roll of Portra 800 in the Nikon FG. And I've got a roll of Aurora 800 in the Olympus. And now I've actually got some Ilford Delta 3200 in the Pentax right now. So I've shot all of these pictures. And up until yesterday, I had not seen one single image. So that's just a weird spot to be in. So I'm definitely very happy to have seen some things now. And yeah, I'm probably not going to quit shooting digital unless I win the lottery, because this is, all things considered, violently expensive. I believe the Pentax, since you only get the medium format, since you only get 15 exposures per roll, I believe even with some fairly cheap film, after you pay to ship it to a lab and pay for the lab to develop it and then scan it, and including the price of the film, it comes out to basically $2 every time you press the shutter button. So like, you can't be too prolific unless you want to get into developing your own film, which I'm trying to avoid because it just seems like a bridge too far. I'm sure I'll be doing that in a month or something, but whatever. But either way, it's still a fun thing to have as another thing to do. And I'm definitely going to carry that. We're about to go out of town. We're going on a little weekend trip for end of the school year to Hot Springs, and I'm definitely going to carry at least the 35 millimeter. I might carry them both, and a few rolls of film, and kind of do some 35 millimeter travel photography. So I got a bunch of crazed camera things planned, so stay tuned. But yeah, pictures, I have some. Later.